like to start off by sharing that I stutter, and I first started stuttering when I was 8 years old. So in the, the, the third grade, and I got speech therapy uh, pretty much right away until my early 20s, and I probably saw about a dozen different speech therapists over the years. And then in my late 20s, I decided to go to graduate school to become a speech therapist myself. So that's what I do now. So if anyone has questions about stuttering, then please put them in the, the chat, and I'll do my best to respond to most of them. And if there are no questions, then I'll just talk about my own experience with stuttering as well. All right. I have watched you since your first 2 shorts. That is a true fan. Thank you very much. Lots of hellos. Thank you all for joining. How is it when stuttering? Boy, that is a loaded question. Stuttering is awful. I hate it. It is very frustrating to have things that you want to say and share, and your body just physically blocks you from saying those things smoothly. And unfortunately, most people expect things to be done very quickly and in a way that they're used to. And stuttering does not let that happen. And when I'm actually stuck on my words, it like, it's not painful, but it doesn't feel good because there's a buildup of tension in my throat and throughout my body, and my breathing gets messed up too. So I'm kind of always out of breath, uh, always trying to catch up with myself. So stuttering kind of sucks, I'll say. Are you single or married? I'm dating someone. We are not married. Question, uh, Travis, what do you do to keep a positive view of the world around you when you're faced with more ignorance or negative judgment about your stutter than usual? Ooh, um, I try to tell myself that the reason I'm getting these reactions is because these people don't know much about stuttering. Because if if they did, then they would not be reacting poorly to it. They would probably be very kind because they recognize that I can't control it. Um, so so I can kind of stay positive by assuming that they just don't have the education about stuttering, and and um, then it just means that I get to spread more awareness, and hopefully it it just reaches more people. So yeah, I don't know. Would love some general advice on what you need from others. Um, so no, 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 on not interrupting you. We need to understand how we can help you. Thank you. I think most stutterers would love just patience, and if you have a calm energy, then that's very helpful. When we feel rushed, we we try to get our words out faster for you, but that typically results in us getting more stuck. When people guess our words for us, that that is usually not very helpful. Um, I I know that this is a unique experience for you to be talking with the stutterer, and you think that you're helping us by guessing our words, but we get stuck all day long. So you may be the fifth person that I'm talking to that day that's guessed my words again, and it just feels frustrating sometimes because I get discouraged from talking more because I think, oh well, as soon as I try to say something, but then I get stuck, they'll just jump in and speak for me. That's not fun. So I'll just stop talking. So patience is key. Thank you. Um, what has hurt you the most when someone reacted to your stuttering? Um, I I sometimes get reactions that once I start stuttering, they they treat me as if I'm mentally retarded, and like it just upsets me because there's a clear um like uninformed population there that thinks that stuttering it impacts intelligence, or just makes you, I don't know. I I I just have noticed that I sometimes get treated like a toddler when I can't say something, and that is discouraging because I'm a very capable person. It just takes me a couple extra seconds to get my words out sometimes. Sorry for asking so much, but can you speak any other languages? Um, I used to know a bit of Spanish. I have not practiced that in years, though. Um, I would stutter way more in secondary languages than in my primary language, and research uh, kind of shows that it's pretty split, where some stutterers will stutter more in their primary language, and some will stutter more in their secondary languages. Calm Zen energy vibes. Then guessing words, I can see would be mega frustrating. Never stop talking. We love to hear from you, and the world deserves to hear from you. Thank you very much. Stuttering is curable. Hope you do better. Thank you. There is no cure for stuttering. So if you make it to your teens and you still stutter, you will stutter for life. There is no cure. There are strategies to better manage your stuttering, so you can stutter a little bit easier and less frequently, but no strategy is guaranteed to work 100% of the time. There is no cure for stuttering, but I wish that there was. I don't want to stutter. If there was a cure, great. So sign me up. Just out of curiosity, would you still stutter when singing? So most stutterers can sing without stuttering. Um, and this is for a few reasons. Singing and talking use slightly different parts of the, the brain. And when we sing, we we do so in a rhythm or a beat with the music, which which helps to get our words out. Um, Also, when we sing, we do what's called continuous voicing, um, which helps to maintain a flow with our speech, which is different than when we just talk, because there are lots of breaks and pauses when we talk. Does smoking make it worse or better? Um, Research is limited here because the of legal reasons. So I can go off of what I've experienced and what my friends have as well. Um, Typically, it makes it worse. Um, you tend to get a bit more self-conscious and aware that you're taking up more time when you're stuttering, and because um, how you perceive time is gets impacted when you smoke. Sometimes I felt like I've been stuck on the same word for legitimately 5 minutes, and I've forgotten what I was going to say, and then I get in my head that if I've forgotten, then for sure my friends that I'm speaking to have forgotten as well. Um, so the research behind that, there's like basically none, but and anecdotally, it makes it worse. Do you stutter less when relaxed? Typically, yeah. We're not guaranteed to, but our emotions definitely impact our speech. So if we're feeling extra tired, stressed, anxious, then typically we will stutter more as well. w- w- One question: do you stutter when reading, or when you have something clear in your mind? Yeah, so stuttering is doesn't impact our thoughts. So we always know what we want to say and how to say it. It's just that our words physically get stuck when we try and talk. Um, so it's not that our mind isn't clear or that we aren't certain about what we want to say. Um, as far as reading goes, because my thoughts don't stutter when I read in my head. I also don't stutter when I read out loud. I do stutter. Research tends to indicate that that stutterers, when they read out loud, typically they will stutter less than when they're just talking, because um, typically we read at a less demanding level with vocabulary than what we do when we just talk. Um, Likewise, when we read, all the words are right in front of us, so we don't have to use e- extra brain power to figure out what we want to say, and the wording of it, and the proper syntax and all that stuff. Do you think taking mushrooms will help stuttering because it rewires the brain? Uh, yeah. So there's Paul Stamets, who's probably the most well-known person that studies fungi, and he apparently used to stutter, took a large dose of mushrooms, and then stopped. Um, Now that is one person. Uh, I've tried. I still stutter. Um, Now maybe more experiences could be helpful as well. I don't know if psychedelics will necessarily get, get rid of my stuttering, but it's definitely had a positive impact on my mindset with how I perceive myself and my speech. So it's at least positive there for me. What is your day job? I'm a speech therapist, and I will work at a private practice that focuses on stuttering. So pretty much every client that I see stutters. Do your thoughts stutter? No. Stuttering is just when we physically speak out loud. So our thoughts are stutter free. Do you stutter when you're angry and start cussing? So more reflexive and uh, automatic responses are typically easier for stutterers to say. So if you are mad and you swear, typically that's a reflex to something. So likely you won't stutter on that. But if you are mad and you're arguing for a couple minutes, probably you will stutter more because your emotions are heightened, and that just typically makes us stutter more. American sign language could help. Yeah, I could do sign language and not stutter in that, but I would also need to have people in my life that can do sign language too. So yeah, it could help in that I can communicate without stuttering, but I don't really have anyone to use sign language with. Where are you from? From uh, uh, outside Philadelphia in the United States. We need this education and info. So helpful. Thank you for sharing. Thank you very much. I have a small stutter, and going to a chiropractor helps a lot. I don't know any research behind that, actually. Um, that's different. Interesting. Keep being you. It's great that you stutter less now. Um, so, yes, sometimes I don't stutter as much as other times. That is not guaranteed. So I will have some days where I stutter more, some days when I stutter less. Um, by saying that it's great that I stutter less now, that is kind of like saying stuttering is bad. You should try to to be more fluent, and it's good when you don't stutter. I'm sure that your intent is sincere, but we can't really control that we stutter. So, if I get positive feedback when I'm not stuttering much, that I should continue to not stutter much. Well, what that does is put a lot of pressure on me and discourages me from wanting to speak more, because you're expecting me to not stutter so much, and I can not stutter if I don't talk. So yeah. So I kind of have a pet peeve when people tell me that I'm not stuttering much, because yeah, I sometimes don't stutter as much, but I can't control it. It's just some days are better than others. How can I be more supportive of my stuttering husband? I think I do pretty good, but I can always be a more supportive husband. That is very sweet of you. Um, Patience is key. So that's my big tip. For you, I would recommend just asking him and say, "Hey, uh, I, want to support you with your stuttering. What is it that I do that you like? And then is there anything else that I'm not doing that I could be doing for you?" He would probably love that. So good luck. Do you have friends who stutter? Yeah, quite a few, because I've I've been working with stuttering for years now. So quite a few of them I had as clients who are just great people, and we're still friends. Some we were in the same speech therapy program. Um, so yeah, I fortunately have loads of friends that also stutter. Sorry, just looking for some questions that I haven't answered to recently. Well, that's nice of you. Wow. Henry Cavill. Why they didn't choose you for Witcher 4, man? Thank you. That guy is a total hunk, so I will take that compliment. Uh, on a serious note, I also have a stutter. What really helps is to talk slowly. Yeah, that is pretty helpful. Most stutterers talk really quickly, and many don't realize that they do. And slowing down kind of changes our speech pattern and just helps us to get a little less stuck. So we typically stutter less frequently. Would you consider hypnosis um, as a works on people the with what struggle you have and other difficulties too. Um, yes, so actually, I have done hypnosis twice. Uh, I don't think that's enough to really get into it. Um, I I was calmer after it, but still stuttering for sure. So I would be open to delving more into that at a consistent level. Does being slightly out of breath, for example, at the gym, affect your stutter? Yes, it does. For sure, big time. And if I go on a run with a friend, I cannot talk to them because I get very stuck on my words and my breathing, which already is impacted by my stutter, gets way worse. So yeah, it does. Uh, is it frustrating for you? It seems as though it doesn't bother you to to talk about it. Yeah, I am pretty comfortable talking about my stuttering, and about most everything. I tend to think that radical honesty and transparency are pretty key. Um, but stuttering itself, it really frustrates me. I hate it. I I get exhausted from it. I want to express myself, but I feel like I can't. So stuttering is frustrating, but talking about stuttering, that's not frustrating for me. I admire your resilience and educating us on how stuttering can impact day to day activities. Thank you. What makes you laugh? This is an easy one for me. Norm McDonald. Uh, yeah, that is what makes me laugh. It's just him. He's fantastic. He was fantastic. He still is, but he's dead, unfortunately. Is this a nervous system problem? So stuttering is neurological. So we have slight differences in the structure and function of our brains. So we just process language differently. Um, and yeah, and for many stutterers, that there's a genetic component as well. My cousins have stutters. I love what you do on here. Your stutter makes you beautiful and unique. Thank you very much. I am from France. I am a teacher, and I'm really happy to see you fighting for it as I get to see some students as young as can be with stuttering. Yeah, thank you. Um, yeah, hopefully those kids have some support as well, and recognize that they're not alone. The fact that you are a speech therapist, I'm sure it is so inspirational to your patients. You will have empathy and total understanding. Thank you. Yeah, I do think that that is a strength of mine that sets me apart from most speech therapists. Yeah. What has helped you with stuttering? I have a little stuttering. Love you. Thank you. Um, this past year, ish, I have worked a lot on when I'm in public, just just talking and stuttering openly. I I do strategies that I use sometimes to better manage my stuttering, which I don't use here. Um, but I have grown a lot in my confidence and acceptance just by going out and and not hiding my stutter. Um, that has been powerful for me, uh, because how can we really accept this challenging thing in our life if we're not willing to just meet it? And so if my goal was to never stutter again, well, then my stutter would have a lot of power over me because I'm trying to hide it. But when I just put it out there in the open, uh, it 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 can't really weigh me down nearly as much. I definitely still have trouble with it and my confidence and self-worth, um, but it's much better. So that's my tip, is to just stutter openly. Have you ever had a negative experience with a significant other supporting you with your stutter? I don't think so. Uh, I I've had relationships with very kind and patient people, so it's been very positive. Yeah. what was your favorite country you've visited in your gap year and why? Um, Probably Poland. I I actually worked at an English language camp there, um, and I met a lot of cool people and fellow travelers. Um, and I was there for a few months, over a couple years, and yeah, probably Poland. Don't forget to like this live to support Travis and his channel. Thank you very much. How does stuttering affect your dating life? So I currently do have a girlfriend, but when I was dating, uh, I I was on dating apps and found it to be challenging. Would always share that I stuttered before going on a date, and sometimes would meet the person, and I could tell once I started stuttering they were very uncomfortable and they couldn't look at me. They could barely talk to me. They would fill in all of my silences because they couldn't wait while I was stuck on my words. Um, it was discouraging. Now, I had some really great and patient dates as well. Um, and I found once I put in my bio that I stuttered, I got far fewer dates. Well, fewer matches. Uh, but I took that as a sign that I weeded out those bad matches early on. So stuttering can be tough, but there are some really kind people out there too. All right, let me skip through some of the chat because don't have mods and some people are kind of crazy. Boy. Hmm. Yeah, maybe I do need to get some mods for my next live, because some of this is ridiculous. Uh, would you interview other openly stuttering people on your channel? Yeah, I I like that idea. Um, yeah, send me a message and we may be able to work something out. Um, yeah. Ooh, here's a super chat from Alec Moore. Thank you, by the way. What makes you excited? Ooh, I really like playing volleyball. So whenever I get texts from a friend uh, asking if I want to play, then I get excited about that. Um, boy, oh my goodness, what else makes me excited? I feel like I'm coming off as a robot that doesn't really feel. Um, I would say new videos of Norm Macdonald because I legitimately am obsessed, but won't be getting any new videos of him. There is a show in the UK called Taskmaster that is the best show ever, and every episode is on YouTube for free. And that show gets me stoked because it's it's just comedians solving tasks and like slightly riddles, and it's great. I stutter sometimes too, like my brain moves faster than my mouth. Yeah, so th that is what some people say is why we stutter. But if you think about it, our brains are like supercomputers. So everyone's brain moves faster than their mouth. We can we can have so many thoughts at a time with our brain. So it's not that our mouth just can't keep up with it. For why we stutter, we just stutter. Um, so so we don't stutter because our brain is moving too fast that our mouth can't keep up. Um, that's just brains in general. Yeah, this is not pre-recorded. I'm just kind of behind in the chat, I think. Um, Alec Moore sent another super chat. Thank you. Uh, what are you looking forward to? Uh, I am looking forward to nice weather, so I can be outside more. One of my favorite things is to go to a wide open park and just walk around on the grass barefoot. So it's hard to do that in the winter, and now that it's getting warmer, I can do that. What uh, other countries did you visit? So I've traveled uh, all over to to every continent except for Antarctica. So I have fortunately traveled quite a bit. It's so good of you to talk live on YouTube. Thank you. Yeah, Norm McDonald is great. Yeah, he is. Would be cool to see some v- volleyball clips. Yeah, I will consider that. I've so far been pretty firm that my content is strictly related to stuttering. But I have had some feedback where people are curious about just my everyday life. Um, so potentially in the future, but I'm not sure. Love to Taskmaster. Oh yeah, it's great. Hey man, really like watching your videos. They are very enjoyable. I have a question. What is the longest you have gone without stuttering? Um, Sorry if this is insensitive. I'm just curious. Yeah, that's all right. Um, so um, I can sometimes go several sentences without stuttering, but the most I've gone was days because I just chose to not talk. And when I don't talk, since I'm not saying any words, I won't stutter. Um, so there's that. It doesn't feel good, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Oh, lots of Taskmaster fans. Love it. Do you stutter in your dreams? I do stutter in my dreams. Um, I dream every night, and I always stutter in them. Are you born with it? So me, I I started stuttering when I was 8 years old. For lots of stutterers, there is a genetic component to it, so they're predisposed to to stuttering. It doesn't. It's not a guarantee that they will stutter, but it's more likely that they will. Um, ooh, Alec Moore with another super chat. Thank you. Um, he 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 says thank you for answering my questions. Of course, happy to. Does does your stutter affect your ability to form new friendships? Lots of stutterers uh, do feel that way. We tend to hold ourselves back from 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 talking to people in general. So because of that, we're less likely to form friendships and build connections, uh, or at least deeper for friendships and connections. Um, when I was growing up, it was certainly that way, where I would barely talk in my teens and my 20s even, because was so self-conscious about how others would see me, and I was embarrassed by my stutter because I was different. So yeah, friendships can be tougher if you allow stuttering to hold yourself back. Uh, what is your height? I'm going to guess 5'11". I'm 6'1". Are you single? I'm not. Hi, I'm your biggest fan. You are so brave and such a good influence. Thank you very much. Do you stutter more when you're tired or stressed? Typically, yeah. Stuttering is usually tied to emotions. So when we are more anxious or stressed, or if we're not sleeping well, we typically will stutter more as well. Love the vids, Travis. Your content shows that no matter what, you still came out on top. So I'm proud of you, and congrats, man. Your hard work and and de- dedication shows. Good job. Thank you very much. That's really sweet of you. Um, Something you've got to be asked every day. has anyone suggested you try sign language when you are really struggling? Yeah, they do, and yeah, that could help me communicate without stuttering. But I'm entirely dependent on if the other person knows sign language too. Most people don't, so it doesn't really help if I can use sign language, but they don't know what the sign means. Are there any online resources you recommend for stuttering educational info? Yeah, the National Stuttering uh, 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 Association. Their website is westutter.org, and the Stuttering Foundation. Um, they're typically the go-tos for that. Uh, what is your profession? Did your stutter have anything to do with your choice? Ooh, yeah. So I'm a speech therapist, and stuttering had everything to do with my choice, actually, because um, I was helping out at a stuttering clinic that I was previously a client for, and the speech the therapist there recommended that I go to grad school to become a speech therapist. Um, so if it wasn't for stuttering, then I'm 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 sure that I wouldn't be a speech therapist now. Alec Moore with another super chat. Uh, okay, so tell us about this girlfriend. Um, Boy, I don't know what she would be comfortable with me saying. You will see her in a video soon. We're going to sing together, so I can show people that I stutter when I talk, but when I sing, I won't stutter. Um, but she is very kind, very patient, just a very lovely person, and very good as well at keeping a bit going, which is great. Very sporty, um, very artsy, just just really lovely. So that's what I am comfortable sharing about her. So there we are. Do specific words to take longer to get out than others? Yes and no. So stuttering is very inconsistent. So I may get stuck on one word for 15 seconds, and then the very next time that I say that word, may not get stuck at all on it. So it just varies. So they're not specific words that I'll definitely stutter on. It's just that sometimes I will get stuck, and sometimes that will be for half a second, and sometimes it'll be for a full minute. It just varies, and we don't really know why. Are there inside jokes among the stuttering community? Um, Probably. I don't. I mean, I can't speak for the community, but I can speak for myself. Um, when someone asks me if I'm fluent in any other languages, I typically say that I'm not even fluent in English. Um, and then if anyone has seen the Office, there's that one clip when Stanley um, he gets mad at Michael, and he shouts, "Did I stutter?" Uh, I sometimes use that line when I've said something without stuttering, but the other person still asks what for clarification. So those are at least two jokes that I do for myself. W- Wow, you are doing so great. Keep going. I see your videos, and as a random stranger, I'm proud of you. Thank you very much. That's sweet. You said excuse me. You, you said the stuttering started when you were about 8 years old. Did it start gradually, or was there some sort of trigger that suddenly made you stutter? Um, so my my mom does not recall any type of trigger. Uh, I don't know if it was gradual or immediate. Um, I honestly don't recall a lot of my childhood. I think that I blocked quite a bit of it out because of my stutter, and just kind of hating myself and my situation, and being embarrassed, all that. Um, so I don't really know how it happened. Has anyone made fun of your struggle, and how did you fight back? Some of my students are struggling with it, and I want to help them too. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I've 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 definitely been made fun of. Um, Typically, I just ask them, "Hey, what are you doing?" Or "Why are you doing this?" And most bullies don't expect to be confronted. They just think, "Oh, okay, I can do this," and they won't want to do anything back. And then you just kind of force them to think about what they're doing and why. And I don't know if they then recognize that they're being mean, but typically just by by saying, "Hey, why are you doing this?" They are typically pretty shocked and never really have an answer, and then you kind of feel good because you stuck up for yourself, and you were nice about it, and then hopefully it encourages the bully to reflect on their actions. So good luck with that, though. From a speech pathology perspective, is stuttering seen as a problem to be fixed, or more so something someone copes and adapts to? That is the big question in stuttering therapy. There are some people that think that you should get strategies to help with your stuttering, so you stutter less. And there are some that think, you know what, we should focus on how stuttering impacts our everyday life. Um, and I tend to be in the middle of both of those, where yeah, it does impact my life. Let's figure out how to work on that, so I can better accept my situation. And sometimes I just want to get my words out, and other people will want that too. So if I had strategies to help me get my words out, so I don't have all this tension and exhaustion all the time, then that's also great. So some people think one way, some think the other. Some like me think that targeting both is key. Uh, Alec Moore for another super chat. Thank you. Yeah, and he says thank you as well. When you were younger and had to do a school presentation, how would you do it? I would typically work out with my teachers. Um, different ways to do presentations. Sometimes it would just be during lunch with the teacher. Sometimes it was with my teacher and like one or two friends in my class that I was comfortable stuttering around. And sometimes I would not do presentations. Um, Sometimes I would get marked down for it. Sometimes I wouldn't. Um, so that's how I used to handle them, at least. Um, Thank you for your thoughtful and kind lives. I'm oh, I, uh, uh, I appreciate your patience and hope. Um, uh, Sorry, I, I had skipped a line in that message, but but they would like me to continue doing this content. Thank you. Just to let you know, you are the first and only live I'm watching, even though it's already time to get to work. Here I am. I said I was French, but I live in China. It's almost 6 a.m. Whoa. Well, thank you for joining, and please don't get in trouble at work because you were watching this live stream. You said your stutter began when you were 8. What age are you now? I'm 34. Ooh, E2 replied that I'm 34 as well. So you must have been here for another live when I said that. So thank you for your support. Whew. Um, oh, oh. I've seen all of your live streams. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you very much. Um, wow, thank you. Um, all right, I have reached the bottom of the chat, so I will stop here. Thank you to everyone that joined. Thank you to Alec Moore for your supers, but by the way, um, I'm going to consistently do 2 live streams per week, sometimes 3, and Tuesdays and Thursdays I think are typically good days for me. So if anyone has more days or different times that work better for you, then I made a post uh, last week. So please respond on that with your preference. Um, so we can keep building this community. Thank you to everyone, and take care.